You're going to get me talking about movies. I can't do anything. Yeah, that's right. 61, 62, 71, 72 will be Unit 3. Everybody with me? Unit 4 will consist of 8, 9, and 10. I put those together because that way it's easy for y'all to comprehend it better when you put 8, 9, and 10 together. So we're going to go over 61, 62, 71, and 72. So write that down for your next test. So you're talking about 25% on each section. So if I give you 10 questions, you're talking about 3 questions from each one, or 12 questions, 3 questions from each one. Each one's going to get the equal amount. Now, are you going to be using your calculator? Yes. Mostly all of this will be done by the calculator. So you won't have to, use your brain for too much. Okay? Probably the second easiest test next to the one you just took. Okay? Now, y'all know y'all going to have to pay the piper, right? Well, all these easy tests, you're going to have to pay the piper. It's kind of like having good weather. All this nice weather we've been having. We hadn't had no ice storm yet. I still think we're going to have an ice storm. But anyway, we had a little one, where it snowed 2 flakes and we didn't have school the next day. Anyway, you got to pay the piper. So for all these easy tests, you got to have a hard test. So which one you think that one's going to be? Unit 4. Okay? So you got to pay the piper. All right, so 61, 62, 71, and 72. Let me check on Miss Nuttall. And we'll start today with 61. And I'm going to go down here and pull up 61, and we'll get started. And before I pull that up, I'm going to go one more time, check on Miss Nuttall. I don't know why I bend over backwards for my students. I tell you what, I shouldn't. Let me try Miss Nuttall again. N-U-T-T. There she is. Yellow's better than white. Yellow means that her computer's on and Skype is up. Let's see if she comes in. Come on, Miss Nuttall. No coughing in class. Got to lay off the Marlboros. Miss Nuttall, are you there? Nope, she is not. But I have to call her in twice sometimes. I don't know why she's... I'm gonna leave my sound on because vibrate, I won't hear it. And hopefully she'll text me when she gets... I do this for all of you unless I don't like you. Okay. I'll try one more time before I... Well, when y'all shut down, y'all don't say a word, do you?
You told us to be quiet.
Oh, wow. I'm not used to people actually listening to me. No, I appreciate y'all following directions. Let me see if she comes up again. text me when your status is green or available. Okay, I'm going to close this out and bring up the PowerPoint. Here we go. Current slide, and it didn't do what it was supposed to. Oh, the whiteboard's not up, that's why. Epson, easy, there we go. Give me a second for this to pull up. There we go. There we go. Now, what are we doing now? Well, do you remember in the first statistics unit, we talked about a frequency distribution? And that was something like this. And category or classes on the left and head count on the right. So blondes, brunettes, redheads, 4, 2, 3. Remember going over that? We did that in Unit 1. All right. And then in Unit 2, we talked about probabilities of an event happening is equal to 0.17. Everybody remember that? Now we're going to merge the two. We're going to put those two together, and that will make a probability distribution. Write that down. A probability distribution is when you have events on the left side of the table and the probabilities on the right side. And I'll show you an example right quick. Here's an example of a probability distribution. Games, World Series, go. A game will go 5 games, 6 games, 7 games. The probability of a World Series going to 5 games is 0.2. The probability of 6 games is 0.5. The probability of 7 games is 0.3. And this is the probability of the event. Okay, so the left side is the event. The left side is how many games will the World Series go to? And then on the right is the probability of those games. Now there's a test you can do for this side. And this is a test that you have to use. And I'm going to write this in green. Each probability has to be between 0 and what? 1. So that means no negatives and no what? No numbers above 1.3, no numbers above 1. So all of these have to be between 0 and 1. And the summation of the probabilities of the events have to equal what? 1. So when you add all these up, it has to equal 1.0. Those are the two tests that you have to check. Will there be one on the test that is not? Yes. So you have to make sure you check it. Because if you go through and do all the calculations, you're doing it for no reason because it is not a probability distribution. Okay? I'm checking to see if I don't think she ticked. Okay. She might have gave up and just going to watch the video. Okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And there's different formulas that we're going to be using with these guys. So they're probably going to show us one or two here next coming up, I hope. And they're talking about basically what leads up to it. Random variable, okay, we're going to be doing NPX. Okay, we're going to be doing that first. All right, one of the things that we do with probabilities is we talk about NPX. I'm sorry, I'm not. NPX. Now write it down because that's the way you're going to put it in the calculator. Okay? NPX is one of the operations on your calculator, and you have to type it in the order NPX. N is always your what number? It's always your biggest number. Sometimes it's the total, right? It's always your biggest number, or it's the total. P is your probability, your percentage, or your area. Later on, they're going to be giving you area under a curve, and that's the same thing as your probability. And X is the desired. Okay? In other words, what they want. And they'll say, what is the probability of 5? 5 is going to be X. Now, also with X is where you learn those terms that you learned a long time ago. At most and at least. Remember those two words. At most, or two. At most. At most and at least. If I say at least, if I say at most 2, what does that mean?
0, 1, 3.
That means the highest number is what?
2.
Highest number is 2. Therefore, 0, 1, 2 is it. 0, 1, and 2. So if you did the number line, it would be the probability of 0 events, the probability of 1 event, probability of 2 events, and you would add those together. That's at most. So when you see the word at most, you need to graph it on a number line so you can understand what you got to do. And most of these are going to be adding. Okay? So let's erase that. And now let's do, I'll do this in another color. Let's do at least 4. I'm sorry, no. At least 3. At least 3. So what does at least 3 mean? That means that your lowest number is what? Lowest number is 3. Therefore, 3 plus what? Probability of 3 plus probability of 4. Probability of 3 plus the probability of 4. Everybody with me? You gotta remember what these two slogans mean, or whatever you want to call them, because they're going to be a lot of your test questions. Capiche? So this is the probability of 0 plus the probability of 1 plus the probability of 2. And also this word, it may be an E, somebody look it up. Complement. So what if I gave you at least 1? Okay? If I gave you, I'm going to do this in another color. I'm going to do this in green. What if I gave you at least 1? What would you do?
Probability of 9.
Probability of what?
9.
Exactly. you would take the probability of none away from 1. That's the complement. Or, what's the most difficult way to do it? I'm sorry, what?
Adding the probabilities of the other four.
Exactly. So you can do either one, or you can do it the easy way. If you did at least 1, you would have to do the probability of 1 plus the probability of 2 plus the probability of 3 plus the probability of 4, right? Or you could just do, since the whole thing, what did I tell you? All the probabilities are equal to what? 1. You can take, and I'll do this in another color. Let's do this in, or since this represents that, the whole probability is 1, I can take the probability of 0 and subtract it from 1, and that will be the probability of 1 plus the probability of 2 plus the probability of 3 plus the probability of 4. Now this is very important that you understand this sentence right there. Okay? Remember I told you, all probabilities, if you add them up, have to equal what? 1. So that's where this comes from. So all these probabilities of these guys have to equal 1. So if I want to find this, which is this, if I want to find that, I can add them all up, or I can take the complement of the probability of 0. Now, how is the best way to learn how to do these questions? Draw a number line. That's why they started with a number line. And the guy that wrote this book, he's got several degrees. I have several degrees, and I use a number line. You have how many degrees? None. So you should use a what? Number line. Okay? So that's where they're going with this. And the next couple of slides is probably going to talk about at most and at least. So let's see. Yep. Continuous random variable. All these probabilities is equal to 1. Okay? That means you have decimals and fractions as your probabilities. And if you take all the probabilities, they should equal 1. Okay? And there's your x. Remember me telling you NPX? Let me give you an example. I flip a coin 30 times, and the probability of that coin coming up with tails is 0.6. What if I flip the coin an additional 5 times? What's N? Biggest number. What's the biggest number? 30. What's P? 0.6. And what's X? Everybody see that? If I give you 3 numbers and one of them's big and the other one's a percentage, that's N and P. That's what discrete, I'm asking you, what if I flip the coin 5 more times or 10 more times? That's what this is, okay? So the discrete variable is going to be your X, NPX. And don't worry, when we get to the questions and I tell you how to punch it in the calculator, you're going to go, oh, this is easy. The only thing is you have to read the what and use a number line.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
That's probably her. She's probably just now figured it out or she's quit. One of the two. I still can't get on. I'm going to quit. She's going to take that to you. Okay. Watch. She must have got a virus because she Skypes in like every day. Okay. Watch video start 6.1. And those people in IT are going to go, Skype? You Skype in? You Skype in the class? Where? Who? Don't say anything bad about Tri-County. Okay, the probability distribution of a blah, 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 probability distribution, blah, 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 mathematical formula. Okay, here is a probability distribution. Go ahead and write it down. It's a good example. What's the probability of seeing 0 movies each month? 0.06, 0.58, 0.22 for 2 movies. Mine would be 5 movies at least. And there are other movies besides horror movies, Sandra Bullock movies. That's about it. Although that chick in The Predators, I can't ever think of her name. What is her name? In the last Predators movie. Can't think of her name. She's got a weird last name. Not weird, but different. Dang it, that's going to bother me. I'm going to have to pull it up. I'm letting y'all write that down. There it is. Let's see, what's her last name? Olivia, what is her last name? Olivia Munn. She needs to be in more movies. Y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. Y'all suck. Y'all never seen The Predator? The Last Predator? Oh my gosh, those movies are great.
I saw it, but I didn't know the actor's name.
She's the girl. There's only like one girl in the
Yeah,
whole
but I
movie.
know her, like,
Oh, that's her. Her name's Olivia Munn. Y'all know who she is.
watch Predators.
What's it about?
Huh?
I said, I don't know what it's about.
It's creepy.
You've never seen the Predator movies?
It's weird.
Okay, everybody's homework tonight. You need to go home and stream the Predator movies. Oh my gosh. You know, your parents, y'all's parents, they should listen. I teach my son and my daughter to listen to 80s rock, 80s movies. Okay, well, and she learns a whole lot of stuff. My son and daughter, they know a whole lot of stuff. They don't walk around going,
Do you like the alien movies?
no, I like the Predator beating up on the aliens. The alien movies, to me, I like the alien movies. I just don't like the aliens.
Yeah,
They're nasty.
they're.
The Predator, I want to see a movie, and I did think of the Freddy versus Jason movie before it came along, but I want to see the Terminator versus the Predator versus Jason and Michael.
Did you like the new Predator? Like the new,
Yeah, the new one was good. I liked it.
Yeah, but
Is that the
she got
Terminator
some
movie?
movies like the new
Huh?
ones.
the new Terminator movie?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It
was cheesy.
Yeah, it was like, if you look at it, because me and my friends, we like watched all the
Priority
Terminator
1
movies.
message
Yeah.
coming in on secure
If you
channel.
watch Terminator 2 and then the new one, a lot of it's like the exact same thing.
Yeah. And anytime she's in it, what's her name? She's very, I don't know if she makes her character over dramatic.
Oh, like the older lady?
No, the woman in Terminator, the woman that was in the first Terminator. I didn't like her in the first Terminator. The second one, she was awful.
I know you're talking about
I can't think of her name, but she's not good in this one either.
I don't really mind because I pay so much attention to her character.
Yeah, she's not that good. Okay, but anyway, you need to go home and watch Predator movies. Predator 2 was stupid, but it was a good movie, but it was stupid. But the Predator, Alien versus Predator, Predators, that was a good movie. And then Predator. They're all good movies.
You didn't tell me what it was about.
Huh?
You didn't tell me what it was about.
It's about an alien that comes and they hunt for sport. And they go up against, the first movie, they go up against Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper! That was a famous movie. Y'all ever heard that before? Get to the chopper! That's where it comes from. I'm not a Godzilla or a James Bond or King Kong. I don't like any of those movies.
I like those kinds of movies.
I'm just weird.
I don't like the Godzilla one.
I don't like them.
I like
Now, if you're talking about goofy movies, I watch sci-fi movies. You know, Swamp Shark, Swamp Jaws, Octo Shark. You know, those are some of the worst act. It's like watching wrestling. You just can't stop watching it, you know, because it's just so absurd.
Piranha shark.
Yeah, Piranha Shark, Piranha Swamp. Yeah. Anyway, they're fun to watch because they're so stupid. Well, you need to watch. You need to get out a little bit more.
I do.
All y'all know how to watch is Marvel comic movies. Okay.
Those are about to go real downhill.
Yeah, they are going downhill. I mean, they come out with one.
Ant-Man.
Vin Diesel is Bloodsport or something.
That's
And
right.
I'm like,
That's
man,
right.
take Iron Man, cross it with Universal Soldier. Come on. Universal Soldier is another good movie. All right. Anyway, I know we're about finished, but I wasted a day with 103, so I can waste a day with y'all. Anyway, this is the events. Make sure that's X. And this is the probability of the event. If you'll look, all of these are positive, and they are not over 1. Somebody add those up for me.
Politico playbook. Coronavirus hits Washington as markets.
Trump is racist, and everybody's going to die. Yep. One. So if any one of these are negative or above 1, not above 1. Let's see, 1 greater x. Let's see, p of x. They have to be less than 1. They cannot be above 1. So you always have to watch that. If you get one on a test or a standardized test, and one of those is negative, or one of them is like 2.6, there should be an answer on the bottom that says cannot be done or does not exist or something to that effect. You need to write that down because I'd hate for you to be on a test and you not know what to do. You can't do it. It's not valid. So make sure you write that down. And that's one of those easy questions you don't want to miss on a standardized test. All right, I'm going to look at the next couple of slides and then I'll decide. Okay, there's 2 rules right there. I just told you that. I told you that like 3 times already. All of them together, added together is equal to 1. And each one has to be between 0 and 1. And they're going to give you some examples. And that one is not. This is not a probability distribution. This one is not a probability distribution. And the next one probably will be. This one is a probability distribution. So those are the 3 type questions you might get on a standardized test. You know, one with a negative, one with a number greater, and then or not equal to, and then this one being a good one. Okay? I'm not going to ask you to graph one, but you know how to graph now on an Excel spreadsheet. You highlight these, and you hit insert graph. And usually it's a histogram or bar chart, and, you know, that's not a big deal. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Make sure, put in your notes. Put in your notes, slope, mean of a probability distribution. Write that down. That's where I need to start next time, okay? Now let me get out of this. Just warning y'all in the back, Miss Anderson's packing. I'm sorry. Alexander is packing, so watch back there at the door. She may run over y'all. She's not feeling good today, so let me cut the. Let's see. I'm gonna give Miss Nuttall an A for trying. So I'm gonna count her here today because she tried.